What breaks your fast? This is probably one of the most debated, controversial, argued about questions in the intermittent fasting space. And there are many people who I deeply admire in the intermittent fasting space. In fact, if it wasn't for them, I would not even be in this space. So I'm going to just give a lot of credit to those people, and I'm going to name them towards the end of the video so I can give them credit for some of the things I'm going to talk about. But I got you guys. I'm going to give you the real deal on what breaks your fast. So here we go. Whether you are a veteran intermittent faster or brand new, this is what I call informed consent. So you want to know what actually is breaking your fast. And I'm going to go through how you can know if something breaks your fast or not, because ultimately it comes down to bioindividuality. There are some general rules when it comes to breaking your fast. And it's a little bit, people have a little bit of a different opinions about what breaks your fast. But I'm going to tell you sort of at the end, what part of this video is going to be telling you how you actually know if something is breaking your fast. Okay. So when I coach people, newbies, I always tell them informed consent. You can start off being a little bit loosey-goosey, or you can just rip the Band-Aid off. It's up to you. You're going to get better results if you do sort of the strict version of what breaks your fast and what doesn't. Okay. Here are the things that do not break your fast. So when I say fast, I mean, generally people are fasting in the morning, right? Before they break their fast or eat breakfast. That's like they're fasting all night long. You're not having anything to eat or drink in the middle of the night, obviously while you're sleeping. And then you can have plain water. You can have bubbly water, carbonated water. That's fine. Plain, no flavors. I'm going to talk about why no flavors. You can have bitter drinks that don't have anything added to it. Stevia, we're going to talk about that. 0 calories. I will talk about that. No stevia. So bitter drinks like black coffee. Yes, coffee with anything in it breaks your fast. Green teas, bitter teas, no lemon. Sorry, you guys, no lemon. Now, if you want to baby step it, you can add just the lemon. That's probably okay. But those are really the only things that don't break your fast. Those are the approved drinks that do not break your fast. Now, there are some other things that people say don't break your fast, but we don't really know that unless you actually test it out. Now, why do these things break your fast? Let's talk about that. So when you're fasting, your blood sugar is sort of staying stabilized and low, right? And so depending on your goals for intermittent fasting, but many people, I would say the majority of the people come to intermittent fasting for weight loss. Although it wasn't originally researched for weight loss, it is a method that people can lose a significant amount of weight. In my opinion, they need to couple it with the right nutrition. That's a different video. But for this purpose, you really want to know why you're intermittent fasting. So mainly people are intermittent fasting for weight loss, for lowering their inflammation. And sometimes those things go hand in hand. If you have 15 or 20 or more pounds on you, you definitely have rampant inflammation, because too much fat on you will create a certain amount of inflammation around in your joints. And so maintaining a healthy weight is a really important part of overall health. And so one of the tools we use to do that is intermittent fasting. Okay, so what does breaking your fast mean? Okay, so breaking your fast, technically what we are trying to avoid is an insulin response, right? So your pancreas releases insulin, which lowers your blood sugar, right? It keeps your blood sugar balanced. Your body does not want to have too much blood sugar hanging around in the blood. It's not healthy. So it will immediately try to shoot that blood sugar out into different areas. If you don't have enough muscle, which is why muscle building, weightlifting, making sure you're exercising, building muscle every day, all the time. If you're after, 30, if you're north of 30, north of 40, north of 50, you're losing muscle tissue every single day. So you want to keep that up. That will help your blood sugar, which in turn will help your intermittent fasting, or vice versa. Either way. So your pancreas releases insulin, which lowers your blood sugar, right? That helps you manage your blood sugar. If your blood sugar remains too high, or every time your blood sugar is raised by anything you're doing, if your body is receiving the message, if your brain, I should say, is receiving the message that you are about to get some food, your pancreas will release insulin in order to make sure it keeps that blood sugar stabilized. It's very, very important for your survival, for your blood sugar to remain stabilized. So there's something called a cephalic insulin response. And you've seen this on a dog, right? Anybody who has an animal will see that, or even on yourself, your mouth starts to water, right? That's in preparation. That's your enzymes getting ready to eat. Even before you've eaten something, you're just smelling the food. So let's just use flavored teas for example. That's why I tell people flavored teas may sort of instigate a cephalic insulin response, which raises your blood sugar, which raises your insulin, which we don't want to do. We want to keep insulin low, which keeps our blood sugar low, which keeps insulin low. All of that kind of goes hand in hand. And so when you have flavored teas or stevia, even if it has 0 calories, your brain interprets that sometimes, everybody's different, as sweet is coming, tasty is coming. So I'm going to prepare, the pancreas gets ready. Our bodies are amazing. And your pancreas will release insulin. And you don't want too much insulin. If you have extra insulin floating around there, you could become insulin resistant. But in order to get the best results, you do want to keep that insulin low. And one of the ways that you do that is during your fasting window, not to have anything that's going to instigate any kind of insulin response, right? So now I will get to like bulletproof coffee, made famous by Dave Asprey. I love him. He is a guru. He is a god in the intermittent fasting, keto space, health and wellness space, hack your health space. This is part of intermittent fasting, is part of that kind of hacking your health, right? Because we're just giving our bodies the opportunity to do what they already know how to do, which is fast. We were designed to do this. So Dave Asprey will say bulletproof coffee, MCT oil, butter in the coffee. That's all fine, fat in the coffee, because why does he say that? Because fat doesn't necessarily bump up your insulin or your glucose that much. It might give you a little bump, but it is giving you fat. So if weight loss is a goal for you, then you want to burn your own fat. And if you're in a weight loss plateau, you're not losing weight and you're eating very little and you're not getting the results you want, and you're doing this, you're keto, or, you're putting in a lot of fat in your diet, it might be that you're becoming fat adapted, meaning like your body knows how to burn fat as fuel, but you're giving it too much fat. This is really for people that are trying to lose weight, which a lot of you guys come to me and you want to lose weight. So keto is a great way to do that. Intermittent fasting is a great way to do that. But when you're adding things, it won't necessarily bump your blood sugar. So you might be wearing a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor. And that is something that I talk about for people if you really want to hack in to what raises your blood sugar individually for you and what doesn't, and how to design your meals so that you don't get that blood sugar spike. A CGM, we call a CGM, our continuous glucose monitor, is something that you can get if you're diabetic. If you're not diabetic, plenty of companies out there that will sell you a CGM, and they are invaluable in telling you, in really biohacking your own health and finding out what raises your blood sugar. So for some people, a little bit of stevia in their coffee might not raise their blood sugar. And don't listen to the marketing, because it'll say 0 calories. It'll say doesn't raise blood sugar. Try a 0 calorie packaged food and see how that raises your blood sugar. The only way to know that is to wear the CGM. So it's one of the things I recommend if you really want to hack into, what your body does. I highly recommend getting a CGM. That will help you with this process of knowing what breaks your fast and what doesn't. Because there's lots of things, like there's a probiotic that I recommend that has ginger in it. And for some people, it breaks their fast, and for some people, it doesn't. I was involved in a big group of people. It was about 1,000 people in the group, and we wore CGMs, and we did a little personal testing. And some of us got a blood sugar bump from water with stevia or green tea with stevia, and some of us didn't. So it's very bio-individual. So that's as far as and you'll hear people say 50 calories or less doesn't break your fast. That is completely wrong for the reasons that I just said. Everybody's different. 50 calories can absolutely raise your blood sugar. I wouldn't take a chance if weight loss is a goal. I would do what one of my favorite weight loss gurus in the weight loss space, even though I'm not technically in the weight loss space, I'm more of an autoimmune gal, but weight loss and autoimmune kind of go hand in hand. So Gin Stephens, Gin Stevens is another one to look for. She talks about clean fasting and dirty fasting. And for a while, when you're first starting out, if you're eating a whole bunch of, crap all day, fast food, really, really crappy food, you could get away with a little bit of dirty fasting and lose some weight, but eventually you'll get into a weight loss plateau and you won't be able to move the needle forward. So I would say if you're that person and you're listening and you started out not changing anything you're eating and sort of dirty fasting, you might try clean fasting and see how that works for you. And clean fasting, according to Jen Stevens, just means that you are really just having in your fasting window water, carbonated water, and some bitter teas or bitter coffee, black coffee without anything in it, without any stevia or sweeteners. Okay, so that's what breaks your fast. If you have any questions, you can certainly follow me on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Sherry Fogelman. Also click the link here. I do lots of videos. I release a video every Monday morning. And yeah, see you then. Bye.